Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going to peek inside your brain and figure out why you make the choices you do. Turns out your mind has some secret rules for making decisions, especially when it comes to winning and losing. So let's get right into it. First things first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that losing something, whether it's a game with friends or even just a few bucks, feels way, way worse than the good feeling you get from winning? It's kind of weird, right? Let's figure out why that is. To get to the bottom of this, let's just imagine something for a sec. Picture this. I just handed you a warm, delicious chocolate chip cookie. For free, no strings attached. You're probably feeling pretty great right about now. It's just a simple, happy little moment. But hold on. A minute later, I come back and I take that cookie away. So how do you feel now? Probably pretty bummed out, right? I mean, even though you're in the exact same spot you were before, you have 0 cookies, you actually feel worse. And that is the puzzle we're going to solve today. Well, the answer to this whole cookie puzzle actually has a name. It's called prospect theory. You can think of it as a set of secret rules your brain follows, and it was all figured out by 2 psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. These rules explain how we really think about gains and losses. And trust me, the answer is pretty surprising. All right, so what's the first and most important of these secret rules? It's super simple. Losing hurts a whole lot more than winning feels good. And this is where you can see the huge gap between pure logic and how your brain actually works. I mean, on paper, gaining $10 and losing $10 are equal and opposite. They should just cancel each other out. But to your brain, oh no, losing that $10 feels like a much, much bigger deal. In fact, psychologists have actually found that the pain you feel from a loss is roughly twice as powerful as the happiness you feel from an equal gain. That emotional sting of losing, it's just that much stronger. Let's make this super real. Think about school. Getting an A on a big test is awesome, right? It feels great. But that feeling probably doesn't even come close to how absolutely terrible it feels to get a D. That awful feeling from the D just sticks with you, and it feels so much stronger than the good feeling from the A. That right there is this rule in action. But wait, there's more to it. It's not just that losses feel worse than gains. The second secret rule is that our feelings depend completely on our starting point, on what we expected to happen in the first place. This idea has a name. It's called a reference point. The best way to think about it is like a starting line in a race. It's the expectation your brain sets before anything even happens. And where you set that starting line completely changes how you feel about the outcome. Okay, check this out. In scenario A, you're just walking down the street expecting nothing, and you find $5. Amazing. That feels like a huge win. But now look at scenario B. Let's say you're expecting to find $20, but you only find 10. Even though that's more money than before, you actually feel disappointed. It feels like a loss because your starting point, your expectation, was so much higher. So if losses feel terrible and our expectations set the stage for everything, how does this affect our actions? Well, that brings us to the final rule, and this one is all about how we think about risk. This is where our brains do something really fascinating. When we feel like we're in a winning position, we get cautious. We want to protect what we've got, so we play it safe. But when we're losing, we do the total opposite. We become risk takers, willing to make a huge gamble just to try and get back to even. For example, if you just won $10 and someone offered you a guaranteed extra dollar versus a risky coin flip for $20, you'd probably just take the sure dollar. But if you owed someone $10, you might actually take that crazy coin flip, all for the chance to wipe out your debt completely. Being in that loss zone makes us desperate to get back to zero. Okay, so we've gone through all these secret rules your brain has, but you might be thinking, so what? Why does any of this matter? Well, it matters a ton because understanding these little tricks your brain plays on you, it's like getting a superpower. It helps you make way smarter decisions. Here's the bottom line. Your brain is not a perfect calculator. It's totally emotional. It's the reason you might sit through a terrible movie just because you paid for the ticket. You don't want to accept the loss of that money. And here's the real kicker. Advertisers know all these rules. And believe me, they use them to get you to do things. I mean, think about it. How many ads have you seen with a phrase just like this? Don't miss out. Limited time offer. Now you know exactly what they're doing. They are directly targeting your brain's powerful, deep-seated fear of loss. See, they're not just saying, hey, come get this great thing. They're framing it as, don't lose the opportunity to get this thing. They know that the fear of missing out, that fear of a loss, is a much more powerful button to push than the excitement of a potential gain. It's a clever trick, and now you can see it plain as day. So I'll leave you with this thought. Knowing that your brain is literally hardwired to fear losing more than it loves winning, what are you avoiding? Is there a smart choice, maybe a new club you want to join or a new skill you want to learn that you've been putting off just because you're scared of that feeling of failing or losing? Understanding your brain's secret rules is the very first step to making them work for you instead of against you.